Will Smith wins, like, please, Lord. Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it, all right? I'm out here. Uh-oh, Richard. Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Keep my wife's name out your
So like Will Smith went from the cool men in black guy to full-on meltdown mode, and Bill Maher just couldn't help himself. He tore apart that whole tough guy image one second, Will is wise the next. He's wild, and honestly, it turned into pure Hollywood chaos that everyone secretly enjoyed.
It's time for another edition of one of our favorite departments here on Real Time, explaining jokes to idiots. As a public service, I break down jokes for the humor impaired. Not that I have anyone particular in mind.
Okay, so like if you're having fun, hit that subscribe button because it really helps a lot. And then Bill Maher, being his messy self, didn't just mention the slap. He brought it back to life, cleaned it up, and turned it into a lesson for all those Hollywood guys still acting like their insecurity is deep emotion. While everyone else had moved on, Bill came back like, wait a sec, the case ain't closed yet.
All sick of talking about the slap, but I'm sorry, one more thing needs to be said. Comedians have been under attack for quite some time, and I need to stick up for my tribe. This war on jokes must end. So tonight, let's Zapruder film this thing once and for all and explain jokes to it.
Bill was kinda right, cause somewhere between that Oscar moment and Jada's glare, real man, energy just vanished from Hollywood. The show started all shiny and normal till Chris Rock joked a little and Will suddenly turned into Batman, trying to save the world from jokes.
Now at the Oscars, Chris Rock came out to present a boring award and first did what he is supposed to do, get some laughs doing what we comics call crowd work. Denzel and Javier Bardem each got spritzed. And then Chris made what in the business is known as a "some shit is like some other shit" joke.
That slap everyone talked about wasn't about love or honor. It was all about saving the brand. It wasn't brave. It was a panic moment that looked kinda professional, and Bill Maher saw right through it, like watching a grown man trying to play alpha male but forgetting his script halfway, and of course Bill laughed, cause that kind of chaos is comedy gold.
Said to Jada Smith, Jada can't wait for G.I. Jane 2, recalling the late 90s movie starring Demi Moore. That's it. That's the joke. You remind me of some other beautiful, buzz-cutted movie star. It wasn't an alopecia joke any more than the one about the chicken crossing the road is about bird flu. Not an insult, although insult humor.
So picture this, Will Smith trying to act all tough at the Oscars, and it was honestly like a vegan flexing at a barbecue, just not working. And Bill Maher jumped right in, not just to roast him, but to explain the whole meltdown. Like when Will switched from laughing to swinging, Bill saw every fragile ego in Hollywood flash before his eyes, cause these celebs love to look deep, cool, and strong all at once. So Bill tore the moment apart, showing the G.I. Jane joke was harmless, but social media being social media turned it into a world-ending scandal in seconds.
As long as you're on the team of the woke, you can't make fun of the things that they prize. As long as you're making fun of the stuff that the woke, the kind of people of the woke fight against, which are white trash, I can make 1,000 fat jokes about Donald Trump. You'll never see a complaint on Twitter because the woke are the ones who do that. The conservatives, they may not like the fat jokes about Donald Trump, but they are a lot easier about just brushing it off their shoulders.
So that's when Bill Maher really started cooking. He said comedy used to be the place where we laughed at ourselves, not tattled on ourselves. Like back then people could take a joke, but now they want compensation for it, and those fancy Oscars crowds that once faked being humble have turned into a full-on support group for sensitive souls. And he was right, the vibes have totally changed. It's all outrage and apologies now, and the craziest part is Will himself proved Bill's point masculinity basically died right there in that glare. It wasn't just about marriage, it was a Hollywood symbol showing how celebs fake real emotion, then clean it up for social media. You could almost see Will thinking, wait, am I laughing wrong? And boom, he smacked Chris Rock to save his image, but ended up breaking it so bad, even the Echo got canceled.
Importantly, Chris's joke was received as funny. As evidenced by the audience and Will Smith laughing. And this is the moment where we got to see a live-action, real-time encapsulation of how cancel culture works. Look at what happens next. Jada shoots her husband a look. Let's slow the tape down to capture this moment. There. Back and to the left. Back and to the left.
Bill Maher ripped that whole idea apart like it was nothing. He made fun of the thought that hitting someone makes you noble or that defending your partner means you gotta lose your humor. He said, real strength is being able to laugh even when you are the punchline, especially when you're rich and dressed in fancy guilt. But Hollywood doesn't do self-reflection, it does press releases. Every scandal turns into a speech, every sorry has sad piano behind it. Will's meltdown wasn't special. It was just what happens when fame replaces personality. Like Kevin Hart losing jobs over old tweets while Will keeps an Oscar after a slap, and Bill called it out perfectly. Jokes get treated like crimes, and real crimes get brushed off, like oops moments. That's not growth, it's acting. And the funniest part he said was how comedy clubs now feel like courtrooms where someone laughs, then quickly says, hey, that's not funny.
And Will Smith was always, in my view, a fantastic movie star.
One of the best.
But movie star, but not somebody who I thought of as a great actor. Not bad.
Right.
He got through the material.
Right.
But, you know, he's not playing parts that are demanding. He's a movie star, which the world needs more than fucking actors, by the way.
Right.
Please, more movie stars, less actors.
Right.
But in this movie, what an amazing acting performance where you don't see the acting. That's why it's so great. I mean, he is astounding.
These days, everyone treats getting offended like a sport. People hear a joke and then go hunting for something to cry about. Like there's probably a whole team out there writing rules on which laughs are allowed, and Will Smith thought he was being noble, but really he turned into the meme of every guy who confuses pride with honor. Bill Maher tore that apart, showing the fake tough act, the fragile feelings, and the craving for claps that fuel it all. It wasn't just about a slap, it was about a culture that cheered it, defended it, and then tried to fix it with podcasts. And the deeper Bill went, the funnier it got, because he reminded everyone that comedians are like safety valves. They say what others are scared to say, and that the Oscars were built on roasting the rich. That's the deal you wear diamonds. You get roasted, but will ruin the tradition, turning a comedy roast into a live therapy session.
Will is laughing because he hasn't yet found out that his original genuine reaction is wrong and that he should conform to a different view. And he's the one who's being manly? I've seen the same syndrome happen in comedy clubs. Woke hecklers who literally have to wait for the laughter to die down before they yell, "That's not funny."
So Bill Maher really hit a nerve when he joked that if you can't laugh while sitting in $1 million suit, maybe the problem isn't the joke, but your ego, cause fame means letting people tease you while you smile and sip your drink. That's part of the deal, but the second you start swinging, you lose all self-awareness. And then Bill took it further, saying this humor problem isn't just in Hollywood, it's everywhere now. Schools banning comics, people needing safe zones from sarcasm, and students so scared of jokes they apologized to themselves after laughing. He even said some comedians get attacked for agreeing with woke stuff, like no matter what you say, you're wrong. The only safe joke left is airplane food, and somehow that offends too. And he ended it showing how Will's slap became the symbol of our whole culture, where emotion wins and reflection doesn't even show up.
Finished it. I'm like in the last 20 minutes.
Wow.
It's fantastic, and he's amazing. So I'm not saying I excuse the slap now, but I totally get why he was in such an emotional state playing that character. And he, look, I think award shows are stupid and horrible, and you can't say who Best Actor because there's many people playing different parts. They'd have to each play each other's parts to really judge this.
Yeah.
It's all opinion anyway.
So Bill Maher's whole rant was like a funny but serious cry for people to calm down. He wasn't trying to defend being rude. He was defending the idea that laughter helps us survive awkward moments, because without it, we just end up angry forever, he said. If you don't like a joke, use the remote and move on, because if comedy had to pass a purity test, half the legends would never exist. You couldn't even explain old school comics to Twitter without getting canceled. And his whole point was that jokes are meant to poke a little, make you think, and still make you laugh, not turn into customer service. And then he connected it to this new fake alpha trend where guys act all deep and tough online like they're selling wisdom with protein shakes, and Will Smith became the perfect poster boy for that mess, showing how Hollywood turned strength into a hashtag and honesty into a performance.
This war on jokes must end. Will Smith didn't get kicked out of the Oscars for going Ike Turner on Chris, but Kevin Hart got kicked out of hosting it for a joke. Who are these people who say cancel culture isn't a real thing? Just among comedians who've gotten fired and lost gigs for exercising their freedom of expression, the toll is high. Gilbert Gottfried and Kathy Griffin were tasteless. So what? That's why we like them.
So Bill Maher called Hollywood a big ego gym where everyone's flexing for attention and pretending therapy is fashion. He joked that award shows feel like counseling with sparkles and every apology looks scripted. But under the laughs, he said the truth, comedy's fading. The same place that made legends now edits jokes to please everyone, and maybe real laughter isn't gone. It's just hiding, waiting for someone brave enough to bring it back.
And so I get why he was, I don't get why he chose to slap somebody. And
Hold on, he didn't do the role the day of the Oscars.
No, but it was
probably a year before that he shot it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. That was what was suffused into his mind and his emotions that day. You're going to the Oscars. It wasn't that far back in his life that he couldn't remember it. I'm sure it was still very raw. And I mean, the tears, I totally get all that. Now, again,
Come on.
I do.
As a comedian, you can't, I don't give him this
No,
much
I'm not excusing the slap. I'm just saying I get why he was crazy emotional.
So here's the thing, that slap still lives rent-free in everyone's mind. Some people swear it was brave, others say it was a total meltdown, but Bill Maher saw it for what it was. A guy trying so hard to look strong, he ended up proving how fragile he really was. And yeah, Bill sprinkled some salt on it, but maybe that sting was needed, cause sometimes pain fixes what pride can't. He wasn't dragging Will, he was roasting the whole fake idea that image is more important than honesty, and the real message is simple. If a comedian ever points your way, just laugh it off. Cause once you stop laughing, you stop being part of the joke and start being the meme. So if you had fun with all this drama, hit that subscribe button, cause on Jacob Reports, we drop the hottest gossip and real talk. You don't want to miss what's coming next.